Do you have any Schneider by? You've just reclined yours. I feel like I'm fucking.
I mean, it was always like, can I get one pint of Foster's, please? Yeah. And I was like, yeah.
Ich heiße Jim. Un pint of Foster's, please.
One pint of Foster's,
Un
yeah.
pint of Foster's. Can you guys see
When I was in Berlin as well, we were in a taxi and like the
wait there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Un's not even fucking German.
I know.
Is it not?
No, mate, I was like,
It sounded fucking German.
I
Shut
thought-
up, you didn't know the German.
mate, it's French. Un is French. Un,
Un,
deux,
deux,
trois.
trois.
Could you not be racist for 5 minutes?
It's not racist, it's fucking speechist.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10.
Aye, 1, 2, that's fucking
Maybe
cool
Un was
running.
his fucking
Ein-
mate's name.
Ein-
Can Un have a pint of Foster's? Yeah, how do you know that's a German name? Un.
Ein
No,
pint of
ein-
Foster's.
Un.
Ein-
Un might be
no.
his fucking mate.
No, it's not.
I'm-
How do you know?
Because he didn't even know me.
How do you
He
know
was
he
in there with
didn't know
me. You didn't
Mate,
know
we
that.
should never have pulled you up there because that was quite a funny story.
Right, cheers, mate.
Have un pint of Foster's. Are you allowed to do accents, Nick? You can do a German
Of course you can
accent.
do the accent.
You can do
Of course
accents
you
all
can.
the time.
You're not.
No,
Say
but I
it.
mean, like, you know, when you do somebody's accent, they go like, "Oh, you're racist," but you can do a German.
I can do it. You can do any accent. Hey, man, we can do a Cuban accent. We can be papi. You can, hey, man.
I have ein pint of Foster's, please, and one for my friend Un.
Please. Fucking hell. Fucking accent police.
Right. Have we started yet?
No, do we?
Aye.
Are we?
Cool. Right, what's been happening?
Fuck all, mate. Just practicing accents and stuff.
Just practicing my.
Can one have a pint of Foster's, yeah?
we just did
No,
that. I think that's fucking gold.
Cheers, mate.
I think that's a I think you've dropped a jewel on us. There.
Aye, the French-German connect. Man. We've done it up, bro.
What's been happening with you?
Working, crafting.
I done my back.
You did do your back.
Did you do the stretches? That's saying. Did you do any?
I
of
done the
stuff?
stretches,
Did
the,
it help?
the pigeon stretch, and also that one where you push your finger into your hip and you lift your leg up, and it really helped.
Mhm.
But what really, I had a bit of a traumatic experience. My back seized up and I couldn't move, like literally couldn't move. I think I was texting you. You said come out for a
Or
run.
your
I'm like,
toes.
I was texting my toes. so it's actually quite a good skill to have. So I was texting my toes,
Are you not
but
joking?
no, I wasn't really texting my
fuck
toes. I
no.
I think
couldn't
that's
use
how
my
they
hands.
name Scottish towns.
But like my back
Have you been
seized
to-
up. I couldn't move at all. So I
What
was
happened?
like,
How did it just?
I don't actually know. I think it's probably a bit embarrassing to say this, but remember when we went to the park?
I thought you were going to say something else. Like, aye.
No, it's actually not that embarrassing. That was, no, it's not
Right, we
even.
went to
Right.
the park,
No, we
yeah.
went to the park, right? And then remember we were doing pull-ups and stuff, and then we were talking about that challenge.
Uh-huh.
You see it in Glasgow city centre, but you see it. I went on
Wait, a
YouTube.
hang challenge.
The hang challenge, right? I will explain it for anybody in case they're watching. They don't know what it is. So, I think they have them all over the world. It's just they sets up this bar, and it's like a pull-up bar, but it spins, and I think that's the hard part. I mean,
So the bar, you're holding on to the bar, but it spins.
the bar's not. You know when you do a pull-up at a normal bar, it's solid. It can't
It's
move.
fixed, it's fixed.
So, but I think the trick with this bar is that it moves. So
That's
if
why I can
you,
rotate inside the holes.
if any point you try to adjust your grip, you slip off.
Oh, right.
So I was watching.
Sneaky.
But like anything that I see
Is
in
it a
my
prize?
daft brain, I always think, oh, I could definitely do
Aye,
that.
of course,
100%.
You
I'm
always
like,
think that you see a challenge like that, you walk past it and go, I'd fucking wax that.
yeah. So I was watching all these YouTube videos. I don't know how I came. No, I walked past it in Glasgow city centre, but nobody was doing it, right? And I was like, well, I'm not going to try right now, but I'm going to go home and research it. You know, I'll wait till I get better, then I'll come back and get it. So basically, you hang off this bar. It's like a pull-up bar. You hang off this bar that spins, but if you hang for 100 seconds, you get £100. Or I think they do it in America, $100, whatever it is. So you
5
hang for
seconds,
100.
£5.
What's that? No, you don't win anything. You know, you need to get to the 100. That's.
Right,
I mean,
okay.
the guys obviously running a business here.
Let them scam you
just have 10 goes and do
There you go,
10
mate.
seconds at a time. So I thought, right, how hard can it be? So started YouTubing it, and it was like proper I mean, imagine if you're some kind of climber, you would be able to do it. You know, like
Like they hang for their fingers and all that.
yeah, like that
Finger bone
Alex
shit.
Holland guy that climbed El Capitan with no ropes. That's a whole different documentary.
Is that the one he done in 4 minutes? Like he climbed the thing in 4
No,
minutes?
no. El
That guy?
Capitan is in. I've been in this.
Yosemite.
Yosemite National
I've
Park.
never pronounced that word. That's the first
Yosemite.
time you shot me down.
Yosemite or Yosemite? What are we going to here? Are
Yosemite.
you sure? With
Yosemite.
Are you sure with this?
It is.
I do
no,
not
it's-
want to share this with somebody
It's
else.
in. It's either in California or it's in the one that borders with California.
What park
Anyway.
is it in?
What's that?
Was it its own park? What is it?
No, Yosemite National Park.
It's like-
Is,
oh,
but
right,
El
right.
Capitan is the rock face,
Right,
and there's
okay.
different ways up. But there's one I think it's called the North Face, and that's the hardest. But what this guy, it's called. The guy's name's Alex Holland, and
You're going to Google it?
they've done a documentary.
Jim brought a MacBook
Now this is
in.
off camera, but
We
Jim
have
brought a MacBook in. I forgot he had it.
in the
Right
building.
there.
well, I was talking to my mate Ricardo. Shout out to my mate Ricardo, and he was like, "Podcast really good, man." He's like, "But you
Did he say those words?
He said it's quite."
Cheers, Ricardo.
He said it's quite funny. He's like, "I'm watching your podcast, it's quite funny, but
But
you need a computer because
We're just going, is it
What's
fact
it's
check?
the
you're
fact
just
check,
throwing
isn't it?
you're just
Real?
throwing stuff out there." And I have a computer right here. So Alex Holland, and I'm taking documentary. So he's got a documentary, and it's called.
Do, 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 do.
My God, I can type faster with two hands, but
Dead air.
free solo, right? It's either on Netflix or you need to pay for it but pay for it on YouTube. It's like £2 or something. I think it's been taken. And
Pay
you,
for something on YouTube.
you can pay for like movies and stuff like
Fuck
that on
that, you
YouTube.
crazy, man.
No, I mean if it's like something you can't find anywhere.
Yeah,
are
but
you
you get
still,
those plug-in things. It costs you
Oh,
like...
Are you still like on that LimeWire? Like,
Oh, what live?
fuck your whole computer just to listen to like one song.
No, you get the plug-in
I hate that. Like
USBs.
as soon as you get one kind of thing of that, you're just
What,
every
a
time
Tro-
you open up your computer, it's just
What, a Trojan horse?
dicks. Just
I
dicks
got this
getting
bad
thrown at
boy,
you.
so can you get viruses on them? Can you?
What?
On a Mac?
No.
Of course you can.
Can
I'm
you?
not a genius. Are they still called genius?
I know nothing about computers. I just was.
Well, I know enough that somebody could definitely hack one of them.
You
Oh, no, you
asked
could
me
hack
if
it.
I knew anything about computers, and I was like, just because I wear glasses, like, I don't know fucking shit about computers.
Is that not like?
What were you saying?
Is that not like? Right. Anyway, I went off on a tangent. Right. Watch Free Solo. I'm not going to tell you how it ends, obviously, but this guy climbs El Capitan with no ropes.
Does he
no
die?
No parachute. Well, I'm not going to say that, am I?
Well, you've...
Okay, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You did though.
Anyway, back to the hanging thing. I digress. Is that the one?
Right.
Went off on a tangent. So anyway, we were in the park, and
We were in the park.
and we were talking about. We went
Yeah.
running. We were talking about it, and I'm just like, I was like,
That's what we were practicing for.
Well, I was like, how hard can it be? So we
How
were
long did you do it for?
well. Let me build the story up.
All right, here we go. Come on.
This thing lasts for an hour. So we went around, we done some pull-ups and stuff, and I was like, right, get the phone out. I'm like, right, how hard can it be? I think, what did I get to, about a minute?
Pretty fucking hard.
It's really fucking hard. I mean, you obviously you're a PT and you're ripped.
Aye, but it's
I
not...
mean, you've got a hoodie on now, but if you
Aye, but
are
it's not
ripped.
even about whether you're ripped or not.
Well, that's
It's all
what
to
they
do
were
with your grip
saying.
strength.
It's actually they were saying like skinny people, it's
Jiu-jitsu?
easier for them.
Of
Well,
course, because they're lighter. Their body's lighter and their grip.
yeah, there's
grip
less.
strength
I
will be better
suppose
on their body.
the differentiation between your body weight and your grip.
But
So I think
also,
I've done.
if you don't train any sort of climbing or pulling or heavy pulling, unless you're just naturally pretty strong, it's going to be hard if you've never practiced it before.
I think if you're a climber or you're something like that, then it's going to be something achievable. But for your average person, looking on YouTube at all these videos, it was
That's
almost
how jiu-jitsu
impossible.
people shake hands, isn't
What?
it?
No, it's not.
No, it just means
Yes, it is.
everybody's fingers just fucked at the knuckles, man.
It's just how you doing, mate.
It's just everybody's get sore.
Connects. You
It's-
just left me hanging. Ah!
Jesus
on.
fuck me.
It's a professional setup. Anyways, how long hang for? About a minute or something? I can't remember.
I think it's a mental block as well.
It was the first time, anyway. But I think that's.
Did you try it?
I tried it.
How
I
long?
had the Dom Perignons for earlier in the day.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's done 10 seconds. Fuck it. I'll own it.
It's,
done 10
re-
seconds.
it's really difficult. The trick is, because I've researched
How
it now.
thick or thin is a bar also?
Well, I think it's just I think it's the same thickness as a normal pull-up bar.
What's the thickness of a normal pull-up bar?
You should try it like this.
But it's just the normal thickness of
It's
the
just like
pull-up
this.
bar. You must hang on for as long as you can.
Mostly. Mucho macho.
No, the trick is what I've read is you've got to pull yourself up into a chin up and keep your chin above the bar for as long as possible, and then the what do you call
I
it?
thought it was a
Biceps.
I thought it was a hang.
No, you can hang in any way from your hands.
So he's saying you start here and then
you
gradually
can't
do
put
the
your
negative.
chin on the bar. You can't, but you've got to.
So it's
you
like a
can.
really long negative.
Oh,
So
right,
if
okay.
you put
I know what you mean.
what they call lats,
Yeah, aye, there's
Right.
lots in
Pockets.
there, mate. Yep.
Hey,
just get my jacket in there.
nice.
It's a nice jacket.
It's nice like this.
jacket. I have very good latch, but the jacket. Right.
Right.
We need to stop doing accents,
The
man.
jacket.
No, anyway, so if you just go on and hang, apparently your lats burn out, and then you can't hold on, so you pull up into a chin up position, keep your chin up, and then you go there as long as possible. Then your biceps burned it out. Then you go down into a lat, but I still could only do a minute, so I only tried once.
Aye, I bet there's people there like that just they're doing that every day.
Well, I
They
think
have
we're
to
going. I
do
think
it.
that's what we'll be doing next time we go running because.
Oh,
Is it? Right.
Well,
You're hanging from a fucking
I
bar,
know.
bro.
well, we always use that little play part, and if there's kids
Hey,
there
hey,
Well, it's not a play park. It's an outdoor gym facility.
outdoor gym.
for children, but if
At
there's
night.
children in it, we don't use it.
Grown-ass adult children, yes.
Yeah, well, if there's children in it, we don't use it because that's a bit weird. If you're like pushing the kid out the way to go,
fuck.
I gotta do the pull-ups.
Yeah.
But it's usually late at night anyway that we're going running. So anyway, that's a long story around to me getting my sore back. So anyway, that's I can my
You
back
went for a
was just-
massage.
Oh my god!
And where was this massage?
Duke's-
Not that you're plugging anything.
No, it was a plug. I think his name was Nim. Her name was Nim Thai
Oh.
Massage in Duke Street, Denniston. If you're not from Glasgow, you'll have no
Butcher the
idea.
names. I love
You have
that.
no idea what that is. But anyway, shout out to little Nim. So anyway, I was there 10 minutes early, but the door was locked, so I was like banging on the door because I couldn't move, and then she's like,
How did you get to the door?
well, I mean, I could move, but I could barely
You
move.
must look like a casualty trying to get in.
I
Had
drove-
you been mugged, would there be anything you could have done?
Oh, it was like the feel. Remember when your neck was all messed up? Like it's the feeling of like if someone just like pushed me, I would fall over right now.
You
My
kept me
whole
on.
so I pulled the muscle at the lower back, but then my whole back just seized up. So this Thai massage was fucking horrific, man. I thought it'd be quite relaxing, you know, like
Like the one we went to?
yeah, that was relaxing.
But you've obviously walked in like a hunchback, and she's like, "Well, he's not getting anything relaxing right now. I need to break this down."
Well, she was just like, go into the room, keep your pants on,
No junkies.
and I'll be in a minute, and that's so you cover yourself up, and she just starts.
Do you go naked?
No, you wear your pants.
Do you?
You wear your boxers.
Oh,
You
I
wear
wear
your
boxers.
boxers.
You
So Thai
straight
massage, there's no oil or anything involved. They
What?
put a sheet over you.
What?
Well, I've had these massages in Thailand, and would they cost about like £1 here? It's like 50 quid. So like, good markup there. But anyway, the most embarrassing thing happened. So like, she's like doing all this different stuff and twisting me and all that, and then at one point she's like sitting on my back, and she was like puts her hands under my armpits and pulls me up. So like, you know, like you're like a seal.
Mhm.
And then puts like my arms over her knees, and then she's like cranking on my neck. Which, do you remember the wrestler Sergeant Slaughter?
Yes, mustache, combat.
He was like a defector from not really,
Fuck.
but in the
Did
storyline
it
of the
feel good?
WWF. Not at the time, it didn't feel good, but now my back's fine. But
Text.
That's witchcraft.
she had me in this, like it was like Sergeant
Sexy
Slaughter.
suplex.
Like the walls of Jericho.
No, there was
man.
nothing sexy about it at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing. She hauling ass in the
Not
back,
even
man.
smell.
No, it's like a little
Oils.
middle-aged lady that's just like kneeling on your back. But anyway, she put me in this move, which I looked up because it looks exactly like the move Sergeant Slaughter used to do to Hulk Hogan. It's called the camel clutch. right?
You
So
got clutched, man.
she's got me in this camel clutch, pulling my neck back, and I just couldn't stop laughing. But and she's like that. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, I'm just cracking
I
up.
think so.
I just couldn't stop laughing. You know what I mean? You get the giggles. And then she's just like, and then she stopped. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, no, keep going.
The laugh turns to cries.
Well, then I'm in my head, I'm like, I should really explain why I'm laughing, or this is just going to be weird, because we were only like 20 minutes into like
Was
a
it
full
just
only
hour.
weird if you
Was it
make
just
it
weird after that?
Well, it's only weird if you make it weird.
Well, I did make it weird.
You did make it
It's
weird.
weird.
Well, I was thinking to myself, like, right,
How did you make it weird?
because I just didn't tell. I just kept going, yeah, I'm fine, and then I would just keep laughing. Every time she done it, I would just start laughing because I was just picturing. So
How many times did she fucking crank you like that?
3 or 4, and then she moves on to other stuff. But like, I just kept thinking about Sergeant Slaughter putting Hulk Hogan in a camel clutch, and I thought, I'm in my pants. There's a little middle-aged Thai lady sitting on my back, pulling my neck back. And I'm just
Fucking hilarious.
Well, I'm just busting out laughing,
Right.
but it's only us two that's in the room, and she's just like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
Was it like manic laughing?
Aye.
It's quite weird, man.
It started with a gig. It started with a kind of, you know that way when like you're at school and your teachers gives you into trouble, and you're not allowed to laugh, and then you just
you laugh even more.
and then your mate looks at you, and then you just you start
That's
laughing.
it.
The
Aye,
mouse start-
massages can be pretty brutal like that.
Aye.
Would you go back?
I would definitely go back. It was brilliant. But anyway, well, she might not take me back. She might be like, "Oh, that's that
I think
weird,
she'll take you
the
back.
weird laughing guy." Well, if I've got the money. But anyway, I was thinking,
Should take your money.
should I say something to her? And then I thought,
And you can't tell her when you go back. Just tell her a made up story.
if I start
Because
bringing,
she's not going to know who
if I
Sergeant
start,
Slaughter
she's
is.
probably. Well, that's what I was thinking.
You need to Google it and be like, look, this is
like-
what you were doing.
She's not going to know who Sergeant Slaughter is.
Or did you tell her Sergeant Slaughter?
No, I didn't tell her anything. I just kept saying I'm
You
fine.
just kept being weird.
I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to go. She'll be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Have you seen WrestleMania 8 when Sergeant
She
Slaughter?
might have.
When Sergeant Slaughter fought
Maybe she could
Hulk
have joined
Hogan?"
in the joke.
It was too. It was too. It went on too long. A bit like this story.
I get massages frequently because I need to, because I'm fucking 6'4".
Get that one in.
Shout out to my mate Jan. I took Jan for a massage and he was fucking raging with me after it. So when we walked in, there was a woman and a guy, and obviously I don't have what I do. I just don't want to get massaged by a guy. It's just who I am.
Why not?
Why
Just in
not?
case I get a semi or something. It's weird. I don't know. Don't put me in the fucking
What are you
spot like
scared
that.
of, man? What are you
I
scared
don't know,
of?
but Jan said he was
It's like a
fucking
doctor.
amazing, and I have no doubt that his technical skills would be amazing. I just prefer the softer touch.
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
But so I ran over, took my top off, and I was like, "I'm going here." So then,
I ran over and took it.
blood pressure was in my head. I fell asleep, so I'm fucking snoozing Boyle, and he can hear me snoring. And then he says the guy's balls are on his head, and he's like, "Fuck this." So when I came out, I was
So
like,
so
"How
you-
was that for you?" He was like, "Bobby hit twice." I was like, "Oh fuck." Man. But he said it was amazing. So
So really,
You'll go back.
you were vindicated in your decision. Is that the
Aye.
right word? To not get a
well,
guy?
that's aye. It's like you don't want to be, because if that happens to you, it doesn't matter like your
What would you-
preference or whatever. If a pair of balls rest in your head, it's kind of disrespectful. It's a matter of respect. It's a lack of respect. That's what hurts the most, isn't it? You can't just put your
No,
balls.
there's a
Would you say
certain
something-
amount
would
of
you say something
respect.
to her?
I'd be like, "What the fuck
Would you
are
say
you
something?
doing?" Aye.
Would you,
aye.
mate, step back a wee bit?
What's
Or
that?
would you do what I did and just go, "No, everything's
Start
fine,"
laughing. No, everything's fine.
but keep laughing?
Everything's fine.
What are you doing with the beanbag, mate? Nah, I had to say something. But I went for
So what
what's
do you
the
do
one?
when you're cutting hair?
What?
What do you do when you're cutting hair? There's elbows hanging outside the seat.
Well, see, I don't think people understand.
Oh, do you have a brush
this is
against
where,
them
like,
then?
this isn't for your arms. This is for my balls. Like, people put their arms here, and I'm
Little
like,
ball rest.
this is going to be awkward for you, mate.
Right.
Just, it's for resting, because I've got really long balls. So, I think it's fair.
Man, that's 2 podcasts and none of you said that.
Why? Well, what were we doing? Parachuting with balls last.
Oh no!
Well, I got cut off last time, didn't it? So, no one really knows that I've got long balls. They do now. Benny long balls, I can
Yeah,
catch on.
I think we should change the subject.
Long ball Benny.
Long ball Benny.
These
That's like a
socks that you made me buy.
Benny ball.
Huh?
These socks that you made me buy. Remember we went shopping?
I didn't make you buy them.
No. What I'm not.
Nice deflect from the ball situation.
Yeah.
I just don't think people want to hear about it. They want to hear about my socks.
Let's talk about your fucking socks.
No, so we went shopping. Okay, you know what I'm like. I'm just like pair of black socks. Who cares? Who cares about socks?
Frugal.
No, don't put that on camera. I'm fucking frugal.
What's
Is
frugal?
that a bad word?
Oh, we're going to define frugal now.
Google it.
What's frugal? Google
Frugal
that.
means you wear black socks and you don't wear socks that are a tenner. So anyway, he's like he's like to me, you need to get these socks, and I'm just like, nah, I'm all right. I'm all right with a pair of black
spicy,
socks.
aren't they?
Well, normally, what do you pay for socks? Like you get like 5 pairs for a tenner.
Well, there's a couple good
Or
companies
Asda,
out
something like that.
there. Aye.
My whole life's changed since I got these socks.
Why?
You got complimented the next day.
Well, first thing, they were like £10, so I'm like, oh, I'm not paying £10 for one pair of socks. And
You
you're
wear
like,
them
no.
on special occasions.
But he's like, well, this is one of them. But you're like, no, you need these socks.
Aye,
These you need
they stick
these.
you down to the
You
ground.
need these socks in your life. They're koi fish. So anyway,
Lucky? Do you mean lucky?
bought the socks. Next day, sitting. Someone comes up to me. They were like, oh my god. I was like, what is it? They're like, I love your socks. That's the first time I've had a compliment on my socks. And ever since then, it's just snowballed.
You've been
It's
buying
good,
all
man.
sorts of different types of koi fish
No,
socks.
I mean, you can only have one type of koi fish, but I'll go, get different kinds.
Different
I
colours.
do that. See when I've got new socks on, just making an
But
most
yeah,
of it.
but now I'm just happier. My skin's clearer.
What were the new socks?
You know, I've got more money in my bank account. I don't know. It's all down to the koi fish socks, and I want to say
It
thank
would
you.
make a good tattoo, mate.
Oh, imagine your feet tattooed. Have you got your feet tattooed?
I don't have my feet tattooed, but
I'd-
imagine if I did had.
Oh, I've seen feet tattoos, and
Fuck that.
I've
That'd be
heard.
sore. That'd be sore.
I think the feet tattoo would be tickly. You'd be laughing, wouldn't you?
No, it wouldn't.
I would
No, it
probably
wouldn't.
start
No,
laughing.
it wouldn't. A needle in your feet. You seen
Tattoos
it?
are stupid. Don't get tattoos. Don't ever
What are
get
you
tattoos.
talking
Where's the
about?
most painful? You get tattoos,
None.
right? Where's the most painful place you've
My
had a
back.
tattoo?
My whole back.
Oh yeah, you've got your whole back done,
Is it?
haven't
And
you?
it's still to get finished.
On the
Yeah.
back of the ribs.
It's just, I think it's the small of the back. I've never been touched there by anyone ever. And a needle. I think that was like my last day of partying ever. I came back from a party around about 9. Tattoo started about 10.
Oh no.
Which is
Oh,
horrible,
mate.
man.
Shutting their mad yet?
Horrible. I just.
Aye.
But you can get tattoo numbing cream, so I might do that.
Did you not have the numbing cream?
I didn't know about it until now.
Or were you just numb anyway?
Then I can just sit there and just. Because tattoos want to talk to you, and you're like, mate, you're fucking shoving a needle into me.
No, I'm the opposite. Every time I get a tattoo,
You
I
wanna
want
talk?
I want to talk, and the person that's doing it doesn't want to talk to me. I'm always being inappropriate in social situations. They're just like, I'm working on a piece of fucking art here. Stop talking to me.
It's art you wouldn't fucking understand.
Yeah, I found the
Uh,
back of the arm. See there, like the.
My wee brother said you get that
Oh.
in here done. He says like underneath there's
I don't think I could be bothered getting another
Quite a lot of
tattoo.
people are getting the tattoos lasered off.
I've had
like,
one laser.
completely
I've had
off
one
the
laser.
body.
I had one laser session to like lighten something up to tattoo over it. But
What is that?
that's just it's a compass. It's inverted to that. That one's the same. It's my friend Tanya from San Francisco did both
I
of them.
always thought it was a Stony badge.
I
I'd
think a
never
Stone
wanted it.
Island badge tattooed
Stony
on
badge.
me. Oh no, that would be.
I
That would
always
be.
thought it was a Stony badge.
No, mate.
Did
that
we?
would
Did
be-
we?
that'd be
Did we
awful.
talk? Did we? Oh, we can. Can we talk about that tattoo we spoke about on the phone?
You've already started talking about it. Is that one of mine?
No.
No, we're not talking about your tattoos on the phone.
No. Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh no, because you'll be raging, man. It's we'll wait. I'll get a permission slip for that. Before.
We need permission
I've-
slips to
I've
talk
heard.
about some things, don't we?
2020 man, you need to watch out there.
I
You
usually
watch.
don't, but it's.
Well, I just think, fuck it, just say it, and then
Well, that's what I've lived my life like doing that, and I'm still apologising.
it's better to ask for
See what you think.
forgiveness than ask for permission, I think.
Oh.
Well, not in all
Is that a
situations,
tattoo?
obviously.
Is that a tattoo?
That's probably my
Well, you
next,
get that
it's
written
probably
on
my
your
next
chest?
Insta quote.
Is that on your chest?
I'll probably just like take a picture of my ass and put it underneath my Instagram picture, like like what girls do, like they just do that thing where
And
it's
then write a shitty caption.
just about how like you've got to go after your dreams or something, but
What,
it's
then
really
a
just
picture of your ass and a thong?
it's just a picture of their ass.
I'm not going after that.
Can we talk about that music video?
No,
No.
What music?
Permission? I thought it'd be better to ask for
No,
forgiveness
no,
than
no, no,
permission.
no.
Whose music video? Whose music video?
No, don't. Don't.
Okay, no. I thought it was better to ask for forgiveness and permission.
Right, wait there.
Bro, what happened?
Right. This is one thing I wanted to bring up because it's of interest to me. And I'm not taking the piss here. This is like me legitimately asking a question. So you can see this, but they can't see it on camera. Couple with 38-year age gap enjoy marvellous sex life despite being mistaken for granny and grandson. Edna Martin, 83, and husband Simon, 45, says it's impossible to keep their hands off each other despite being married for 15 years.
Jesus. I
So-
wanted to know who used the word marvellous. What one do you think it is?
I think it's a granny.
This is not a granny. She's
Right.
83. She's a lady. She's in the prime of her life. She's got needs. But anyway,
Would
Are
so
you standing up or sitting down in the photo? Sitting down.
sitting down.
She's sitting
Probably,
down.
It's probably difficult for it to stand. I mean, that's
It's
the.
probably difficult for her to stand. She can't.
I'm not
83-year-olds
being
can walk.
funny, but that's the jumper of a paedophile.
It
Right.
does it for me.
Oh,
Oh, fuck.
I mean, they're enjoying that. Oh
No.
no!
A Stetson then?
This,
Hey.
by the way, this is in the Daily Record. This is a national newspaper. I'm not on some weird fucking website.
We'll put this at the bottom of the screen so people can see.
Can we do that? Yeah.
Aye.
Right. Okay.
I've
Well,
got specs. I know what I'm doing.
I'm not screen recording it, but can we
It's
still
alright,
just put it
mate.
in? Right. Fucking hell, this guy's a genius. Say specs, man.
Just
Do you know about
dragging-
computers, mate?
MDV specs
know.
just knows about
Do
computers.
you know about
don't they?
computers, mate?
It's actually quite true. Aye. But aye, that's
So anyway, here's my question, right? So as you get older, you're 83.
that's correct.
When you're 83, do you? And I'm not taking the piss here because I think a lot of people would be reading this and just laugh, but I'm not laughing. Do you find other 83-year-olds attractive, or do you still fancy like people that are like 25, 30? That's for males and females. So if
You
anybody's
can
watching,
take that question.
All right, okay. I mean, an 83-year-old guy. If I was an 83-year-old guy, and I seen an 8-year-old woman, and I seen maybe, let's just say, a 35-year-old woman, I know my eyes are going to the 35-year-old woman. Like, I'm
you
not
think you're going to be more attracted to 35-year-old
You're
women?
damn right. I've been with you because you're 80 years old. Like, so
But think of all that wisdom you're missing out
the
on.
wisdom. I'm going to give somebody some
Is
wisdom.
that what you're calling it? Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm trying to bite my tongue on certain things that I want to say, but
I don't say anything's going to get you in trouble,
I
but
don't know. You wild ass.
I might as well just fucking. Aye. Would you? What would you do?
I don't know because I'm not 83 yet. I'm just like, well, what happens when you
don't know.
become 83? Do you just want that
So what do you
Well, you
think
still
you
have
would do?
sex, right?
if you're 83?
Aye.
It doesn't just turn into an empty bag. Like, it's still, the muscle's still
Oh,
there, surely.
God. Imagine being when you're 83 and you've got a wee silk purse just hanging down there. Nothing.
It's just
I
good
don't know. But I just think right. That's like the question, I suppose, of getting older when you're maybe 83's pushing it a bit. Say you're 60, 70.
I mean, you
Are
still
like, but
obviously
then you're
have
like, say you're single. Say you're
desires.
say you're 65 and you're single, and I'm not talking like you're Rod Stewart or Mick Jagger or something like. You're just like a normal guy.
No one wants
Not
to
a, not, a,
imagine
Ru- not a Russian billionaire.
Yeah. You work in like I
Sure.
don't know, farm food, something like that.
that. And you say, hello.
And then like another 65-year-old starts. I don't know
Your
why.
hands meet over the nuggets, the chicken nuggets.
What's it? You're both reaching into the freezer at the same time, brush against each other, and you're like, "Hello."
One of you can't get back up.
Do you want to
One of
split?
you's already up.
Do you want to split a packet of Werther's Originals? I don't know,
Like
like,
you're talking dirty to me.
but like, what's the deal? Like, do you get to a certain age where you no longer find people attractive or over a certain age? I don't know.
So companionship.
Yeah, well, physical attraction I'm talking about, really.
Right, well, I don't know
I think
because
the answer's obvious to most.
I don't
to most with
know
that.
because I just buried my granddad 3 weeks ago, and my mum and dad found a penis extender pump.
Oh, fucking
So-
hell, man.
Wee man was obviously still throwing it about like a fucking dog toy. So I think
Aye, the sex
when
just,
you get to that
the
age, you're
sex just
still.
will not stop. Like, man,
Ah,
you sure you want
of
to be
course.
banging your... If you've got a missus at 8 years old, man, fucking ride
Extend
that
that
thing
love.
to the wheels fall
Extend
off,
that
man.
love.
Extend no love, ride that thing to the wheels fall
Pump
off.
it up.
Aye, man. Pump it into the weeds. Like, get it
Aye,
done.
man. My grandma as well, like growing up, monogamy, like it's obviously like a thing that gets taught, it's respectful and whatnot. But like every time I had feedback or wanted feedback from my grandma, I'd be like, "Grandma, what do you think of this one?" And she was like, "They all look the same from behind, son. Go
Your,
at it."
your gran said that to you.
But-
Gran said that to you.
Aye, but I think she might have just needed her fucking eyes tested, and she was actually, I just took it the wrong way and just fucking went at it and had a good time. took it in a
What,
literal
what,
sense.
what would she have been looking at?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying she might have needed a fucking eyes tested. But I just went, yeah, fucking.
I've got
they all
to
look the
say,
same
what
behind,
age
just
wa-
fucking data.
What age were you when your gran said that to you?
What, 2 years ago?
All right. Oh, I thought you meant
Oh,
you were
man,
like
I thought you were
sitting on a
12,
knee. You were like
13,
5 or
man.
something.
You
But even then, 2 years ago, it's just quite. It's just a kind of. It's like. I mean, I understand why you are the way you are now. If that's the advice.
What's
that,
that supposed to mean,
if
man?
that's the
Because
advi-
Granny's giving us wisdom, man. You
Aye,
just,
man.
you
if
just
that's
ran
the
with it.
advice that
Took that
your
shit and
gran's
ran
giving
with
out.
Get a wee fucking Swedish penis bump. I thought that was an Austin Powers sketch as well. I didn't know it was a real thing. Love extender. So I think it is companionship, but
I think you need that
there's
companionship.
pills, there's Viagra's, all that stuff.
I'm not talking about sex. I'm just talking about like hanging out with somebody and like.
Aye, of
what
course
age-
you find other people attractive.
when you're 80.
Aye, of course.
You probably are going to want because you I remember the war. Like, that was
I mean, there's rich men, rich women, rich whoever the fuck. They've all got younger partners, counterparts, and they all get like, oh, look at them with a young. And like, if there's a massive fucking, if they're like young or preteen, then
I
obviously
just
what the fuck
interject?
is going on?
That's a bit
But if it's like
weird.
a 24-year-old going out with a fucking 70-year-old, it is disgusting. But if you were a 70-year-old, you'd
guy,
be like,
you'd be like,
you
alright
want
then.
me to go out with another 7-year-old? Fuck off.
Especially if this 24-year-old has just been like, oh, I want to be with you, and he knows, I'm packing. Fuck it,
Get loads of money.
take him, man. I'll take
Take it.
I'll take the young man. I
Just don't get married.
I don't want this old ass shit.
Just don't put their
Imagine your
name.
first holiday
on it.
together.
People know. People look at you.
Well, that's what I'm saying as well. She's unpacking your bag. Why have you got a big pump? I'll take that. It's not a big pump. Husband left in tears after being humiliated for buying wife sanitary pads.
Can we talk about that? I mean, you've just said it anyway. Should I be crying?
No, of course not. I mean, the wife fucking sanitary pads. She needs sanitary pads. Get fucking over yourself. How are you going to be humiliated for that?
He
Why
was
would
buying,
you be embarrassed till you're going out? You just need to go out and handle your business. You go grab them, you pay for them.
but you don't go back to your car and start crying. I mean, I know you're allowed to cry if you want.
Why would you cry with sanitary pads? She needs
no,
sanitary
no,
pads.
he's crying because it says he's crying because he was never felt so embarrassed because someone worked in the shops. But like, why are you in this aisle? And then he started crying.
He's obviously that's a him problem. That's
Fragile masculinity.
That's
I'm not
problem.
having it. I'm not having it. I just think, mate, just
you go in and buy them, you leave. That's a him problem. That's
sort
what that
yourself
is.
out. Sort yourself out.
Aye, they just fucking.
I don't want to say be a man, but come on. Stop.
Get your marbles together and go in and get that shit and get
Get
it
your
home to
fucking
your
ducks
wife.
in a row. But I mean, what? How the fuck are you going to be fucking? It's sanitary pads.
It's a
Nah, fuck that. I'm not having it either.
nah. I'm not
I
wearing
don't
that.
want to talk about this guy. I'm just thinking,
He's
just
a walloper.
why are you going to the newspaper as well to say I just cried? Felt so embarrassed. I was crying. You're
So
like,
why would you tell the newspaper that?
I
No,
know.
you not got nothing to do else to do with your
Exactly.
time.
The only thing I can think of is
I get it. He was
to
embarrassed.
deflect
but-
from the fact that you had to buy toilet paper. That's less embarrassing because then everyone knows you're going home to take a shit.
No, but I just think. I just think people are just getting. You're just like, is that really what?
What age is the guy? Does it say?
Doesn't he say? I don't think he gave his name. He's just phoned the newspaper to tell them.
I think the newspaper have actually made that
A
shit
man
up.
has spoken out after he claims he was accused of being a pervert while buying feminine hygiene products
Jesus,
for his
fuck,
wife.
that's a bit fucking extreme.
The husband says he ended up crying when he retreated back to his car after a female shopper approached him in the shop and demanded the police were called. Right, first of all,
Right, well, that's a
stop
bit
calling the
different.
police on people. Second of all, mate, just go like that.
Fuck off.
Fuck off, man. Don't start crying.
I'd be like, give me the fucking sanitary pads, do your fucking job. I'm buying these, fuck you.
I would see if
Yeah.
some other shopper said that, but mind your own business, stay in your lane. Beat
In
it.
America, you can buy guns,
I know.
and he's fucking crying over sanitary pads.
I just think people need to toughen up a wee bit, if I'm being honest. And I know
Mate,
that you're not allowed to say that in 2020, but I'm
No, you
saying
are,
it.
because there's
Toughen up a bit.
there's not enough thick skin out there. Really.
You
Ah,
can toughen up,
toughen
but
up
the
a
whole
bit.
fucking man up thing's a bit.
Can't
I can
man
understand
up.
that, but toughen up 100%.
Toughen up.
I toughen up. I'm not talking about man up. I mean, there's when we're talking about, I'm not talking about mental health and things like that. I'm talking about just that just really annoyed me, that story. I'm just like, mate, stop crying and then stop going to the
Get
newspaper.
over yourself.
Get over
Get
it.
the fucking sanitary
I
pads
know,
and get home.
And get home. There's It's needed.
before your wife bleeds to death.
Oh, shit, mate.
Right,
I
let's.
don't understand it, how it works, do I? I'm just fucking.
Well, they
I've
don't
got
just
her best
bleed-
interest at heart.
They don't just bleed out.
How would I know?
Let's get on to something more positive, I think.
No more Daily Record stories.
I know.
The Daily Record is almost like the Star now to me. It's the same
No more
bullshit.
fucking fuck the Red Tops.
Well, you will put me in charge of getting the news.
I mean, not the Daily Record. They talk some bullshit.
You bring me some news then. I just like these stories.
Bring me news.
Bring me the news. Bring me the news.
Well, that's another thing as well, like with the Daily Record and stuff like that. If you are, I was going to go on a rant about the Daily Record, but fuck them. Fuck the Daily Record.
What's been happening? When's your gym opening?
Well, stuff's just left China, so it shouldn't be long. 4 or 5 weeks it's here, so I'm just chasing up.
What's that? Just everything for China?
I all my stuff, I all my equipment.
And is it down where?
It's down
Near
down at the Oatlands.
Is that near that big police building?
Aye, just round the corner.
Because
so
we
that-
went a walk. We walked past that.
Shawfield,
Morris Park.
Morris Park.
Oh, Shawfield where the dog
Aye,
racing is.
Yep, you know where Hand and Cabs is?
No, exactly. We walked past it last night.
Right there, mate.
2 nights ago.
That was the creepiest walk I've ever been on. It was
Where were
absolutely
you walking? Well, down. Oh, right, no.
There's
Right
like,
beside
see
the
where your
Warnock.
gym is, you go down and then there's a canal and we're walking along it. 2 fully grown men. And then
It was horrible.
It got a bit spooky.
Why?
It's just so dark and creepy that then he started running.
Nothing's going to happen. Why were you running?
Because we went out for a jog.
No, you didn't. You were walking.
No, I
Ben
was
got-
jogging.
You
Ben
shat
got spooked.
No, you got a video of you getting spooked when I ran towards you. You went, ah! Ben got fucking spooked.
Don't run at me.
Have you head
No.
torches? You're out running now.
Nah, come on.
Why not?
We both
No,
had
I
our
don't have
fucking
one.
torches in our
We didn't
phone.
really know where we were going. We just met and then we just walked, but then we just kept walking. But then we just ended up in some really spooky, sketchy little canal with no lights.
It was a good stop. It was like 2 hours,
It's a good too. Probably getting a good
16,000 steps.
6. How many miles do you think that is?
Quite a bit, man. I had to stretch down. I had to warm down. I'm getting at that age now. You have to warm down after long walks.
I'm doing a lot of foam rolling now.
Warming
because of my
down after
back.
a long walk.
Huh?
You warm down after a long walk.
Yeah.
From running from that. No, you're warm down for running in the dark.
It's the feet. Like I got this wee foam roller thing. I've got this wee
Oh, mate,
technique. It's class, man.
mate. It's class.
Class.
What's
Just
this?
like
A foam roller for
stretching.
your feet?
Ah.
So you
You
sit
can,
down.
you can do it with a tennis ball, or you get the wee hard balls with the spikes on them that are quite good.
Oh,
for
right.
Do it
aye.
alone because you make noises. Like, ah.
It's good for the fascia that runs down the bottom of your feet. It can get tight.
Right.
I definitely recommend it.
Because I was just running during lockdown and then 2 of my toenails fell off. Like eventually,
The fuck?
like so my
What?
feet-
What?
Well, because I was
They
just.
just bailed. They're like, fuck this. We don't want any part
Yeah,
of
like
this.
you know, it bleeds under your toenail and it goes black,
Yeah,
and then it.
what
fun-
did you drop something on it? Or just
What
Nah.
were you running that much? Because that's like David Goggins
I
style.
don't know, mate.
Ah,
You see
well,
those
I was
toes?
done like-
You see those like turtles attached to the end of his
I
feet?
done like
That was
half a
horrible.
marathon, but I was just doing right. So the first day I done like a mile, next day I done 2 miles, then 3 miles, and 4 miles, right up to what's half a marathon, 13 miles, 13 and a half miles, something like that. But then my feet just were destroyed because I don't run, so then my
Do
body.
you, like, is it the shoes? Is it the trainers you've got?
It's
You
probably
got
I probably
trainers?
crap shoes and all. I didn't have my koi fish
Oh,
socks
come
on,
on, see if
man.
you had the koi fish socks on.
Not
you'd be
running the koi
fine.
fish.
No, you can't.
They have no support for your ankles.
You can't run in the koi fish,
I
can
know.
you?
They'll
You could
just-
put them over an ankle support.
I was just doing anything in lockdown to try and like get through the monotony of it.
I don't think I can mentally handle another lockdown. Everything in my house has been done.
Yeah,
What about yous?
what
Could you go back through another lockdown?
I don't want to do
I
another
could, on the
lockdown.
basis that I can go and do another job. I can come away for personal training and go build a house somewhere with one of my mates. You know what I mean? Like, I can still go work, which is, the old saying goes, get a trade behind you because you can always fall back on it, which I did this year, thankfully. So I felt really blessed. I was able to fall back in a trade. But I'm going to be bothered if we lock down again. Mentally, I'm going to be bothered. Like, work-wise, I don't care. Like,
I just feel like I can't get. Not that I can't get. We just need to move forward in life. We just need to like when it shut down the property market. That was a pain in the arse. When we just everything was just shutting down. We're just grinding to a halt. I just don't want to do that. I just want everyone back to normal as soon
it's
as
just how you're
possible.
dealing with it, though. It's, you know, it's really like,
You definitely get to know yourself when you're in 3 months of just
You also got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, like we spoke about.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's also just 90% how you deal with it and 10% of what's actually happening. Like, I would say, so that's my mindset to it. Like, fuck it, it's happening. There's not much I can do. I can't change anything by myself. So deal with it the best I can in the most positive way, and the people around about me that I'm close to, like, try and keep that positive energy like passed on to them, so that, you know, you'll try to keep your friends and your family.
I'm learning that
G'd up.
so much, like just the people that you surround. I know that it's so cliche and people say, oh,
it's
you
not really,
become
it's true.
the 5 people you spend most time with, that's who you become. But it's so true. It's so true. Like, you need to be around other positive people, other people that are pursuing their goals, other people that are just trying to achieve things.
If you put it into the context of, like, even people who have already done well for themselves in life, like I remember watching an interview with Floyd Mayweather, and he says, I don't just go and sit with Warren Buffett because he's a billionaire, because I need to figure out how he got that. I need to surround myself with these type of people if I want to get to that point, and that's his thing, obviously, being Money Mayweather. But I always do believe, like, you've got to surround yourself with people who are trying to can be a different path, but in that same lane.
Couldn't agree more. Like, negativity is like, when you're around somebody that's negative or people that are negative, it actually makes you mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
It actually, listening to someone complaining about the weather, complaining about them not having any money, complaining that they hate their job, complaining about this, complaining about that, having to listen to that is just absolute torture.
You do try and help them, but
it's a reality. It's a reality, I think, for so many people and they don't know that that's not what life's meant to be like. Life's meant to be like,
been there,
you know,
been in that
what project are you working on? Tell me about it. I'm excited for you. Is there anything I can do to help you? You know, or if there's something I'm working on or something, that meet up with people that are like, I'm in the property game, so I'm trying to connect with people that are above me.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm also going to meet a friend on Sunday who's trying to get into the property game that I'm just going to sit and talk with and just tell them what I've done and what my I call it a business plan. I've never written anything down in my life to do with it, but just telling them how to do it.
You know,
just try to give it, just pay it forward and pay it back. Like, just being around positivity, and it just lightens your mood. Even doing this every Saturday. This is on to what, number 4. Like, the first one was like we were messing around with the lighting and the camera, so we never released that.
2, and then we got the third one. Something spooky happened to the third one, and then it's number 4.
Well, the third way, I mean, but even this and just collaborating and talking about the week, just always positive, always just try to encourage each other.
As well as you see if other people are the positive people.
Because we're all in different industries, but we're all striving to just help each other out.
100%.
What do you think, Ben?
I think it's important to fucking keep yourself grounded first before you expect anything from anyone else. Definitely.
Can't expect anything from anyone else. That's how people.
Explain that a bit more, man.
Well, I mean, I was quite guilty of it. Always try to pull my mates along. Always try to get them involved in anything I'm doing. And then you can only hold the door open for people if they don't want to come along. And some people just don't want to, which is all right, fine, cool, whatever. But now I've kind of understood that in the last maybe year or so. I don't want to surround myself with only ambitious people, because then you would burn out. I'd have burnt out from it as well. You need people that just want to have a good fucking life, remind you, like, to actually stop and fucking live life, because then you're going to hustle and get busy, and then you're not going to do fuck all. Like, the time's passed, and then all you've done is you've saved all this money or done all this stuff, you've stayed inside and whatever, and you've not actually done fuck all. So I think that's something that I'm starting to see recently. Like, in the past 2 years, I've learned cinematography, colour grading, blah blah blah, like really learnt it. And now I'm like, right, I've got this plan of attack, but I also need to stop and allocate my days and my time frames. When I'm cutting hair to like time schedules. I'm always running late, but I've figured that my mind goes to shit if I don't have set days, set times. I need to be like, right, okay, I'm going to do that for this amount, and I'll do this for this amount. But sometimes it's quite nice to just connect with people, just like, hi man, how you doing, what a coffee, just chatting shit. It's quite good. Mm-hmm. So I do think balance is very important, and balancing yourself is very important.
You're right about the whole, you can't just surround yourself with people who are all hustle, work. Like, you need, as you say, you need that balance, that moderation. It's like anything, moderation. Like, is, you know, like I get that. I can resonate with what you're saying with that. Like, stepdad would always tell me I was 7 days a week, constantly, months on end. And I was burning myself the fuck out. And he's like, look, you need to chill. You need to go live. Go take days off.
I think
relax
as well,
your
like
mind.
this whole social media thing is making a lot of people. It's bringing a lot of people closer, but at the same time, it's leaving a lot of people like feeling
Empty.
so far away
Yeah.
from who they're connecting with. Like maybe they don't feel like they're adequate, or maybe that's their ego talking or whatnot. But I've noticed it in myself. Maybe like I don't know. Like I have noticed that you'll notice it as well. Everyone on Instagram is fucking at it. Like they are fucking at it. You see someone's like post or story, and you're like, bullshit. You're chatting shit. Like why? But it's this fake head. Like you're only putting up the highlights of what you want people to see. Like you're portraying. And then you do get someone that's being real and being like, oh fucking, I'm depressed, and you're like, not got time for that shit.
I know it's it. You
Aye.
hate the fact
Like
that
obviously
there's
you
bullshit.
do, but at the same time you do like, I don't want to see that. And then
You
when
just want to see
someone's
the
doing
good
good,
stuff.
huh?
You want to see the good. It was interesting because I only just got Instagram like 1 week ago, something like that. Just because we're doing this, and I've got my property company, Supersonic Properties. We're going to be collaborating on this documentary that we're going to be making soon. So I thought, right, I better get Instagram. So it's for me, it's like just getting into it and seeing. Like obviously I knew what it was. I did have it years ago, and I got rid of it for that very reason because I was just, this is just bullshit. But I had nothing to promote. And it's like nowadays, good luck promoting something without social media.
Aye, of course.
Like, you know what I mean? So I thought, right, I need to get it. I need to start connecting with people. I need to start sort of spreading the word of what we're doing, and also what I'm doing with my other ventures as well. But now I'm going into it with my eyes open, as in, like, you can't compare yourself to other people. You can't. You got to know that everybody's only putting up
the highlight reel.
the
The
cool,
highlight reel.
the cool stuff that's happening in their life, like my fucking koi fish socks got in there, you know.
They are cool as
But
fuck.
they are nice, man. But yeah, but I totally agree. And you know, in all seriousness, I think it's dangerous for younger people that have never known a time
without it.
So maybe if you're say 20 or something like that, it's been around for what?
Well, our generation was there before internet, with the internet, and now obviously the advancements
Everybody
of
needs the
social
internet,
media.
basically.
But we all remember being kids and not having a phone, and we remember
Mate, you had to
being.
go chat your mate up, and if he wasn't in,
If he wasn't
you were up
in,
the road, that was
or you
it.
phone his house, and his mum would get annoyed at you, but
Aye.
he's not in. But
You know what? I've got a wee burner phone that I use sometimes. It's in my sock drawer. Every time you pull it out, you're like,
I've got one as well.
Aye. And I think I might go back to that because just the
I did-
endless scrolling. I'm like, fuck this.
I went back for a month.
Green screens and Snake was fucking life, man.
No,
Like
but
a
honestly,
snake.
no, but I did go back to one of the phones for a month, and it
How
was
was it?
a nightmare. You can't do anything.
Aye.
The one thing that you notice is it's like you were guilty of it when you text somebody, right? You put a tenner in this phone. Basically, I lost my phone, and I thought I was having problems. It was at lockdown, I think. I was having problems with insurance, getting a new one. So I was like, I'll buy a burner phone. It's like you put a tenner in it. It's 10p a text, but people send you one word at a time in a text,
'Kay.
or one. Do you know what I mean? When they're just like,
They do the sentence in
The blah-
text messages.
all right.
Man.
"What you up to?" I'm just out the shit, and it just comes through. And it's
Cost you 70
It
pence.
keeps and I'm just like, that's why I would text you, but you need to phone me or put it all in one text message because it's just it's impossible to live your
Plus
life.
texting, you have to like type the button 3 fucking times.
Oh
like
my
that's
God.
But I mean, going back to that is quite good because it kind of forced me to just be like, right, what do I actually want to fucking do today? Because if you have 5 minutes, then
It can become 45 minutes fucking scrolling your
mate,
phone.
it can become fucking 3 hours on YouTube going down.
Yes.
Like, fuck, like I had things to do today, and now it's fucking.
Well, I've got one friend that goes off grid for 1 day a week. Whatever day that is, whatever day, like he works shifts or whatever, so he has a different day off each week, and he just one day unplugs the phone, the computer, TV, gets outside, runs, does whatever he needs to do, and just doesn't speak to him. They just 1 day a week. What are you looking at that for?
So I'm listening. That's
Well, I
my,
thought you were going to laugh there.
no, that's my
I'm like,
default face. Fuck.
all right.
Shit.
I thought you were a bit like.
That's me just peering over.
I thought that was like giving it the whole bullshit face. No, but that's legit. That's what he does, like 1 day a week, and I think that's maybe like because you
You do
can't.
that a lot, don't you?
What?
We were talking about that. You do that a lot. You're like, what the fuck is this guy fucking
That's
bamming
what
me up?
I'm working on that.
What? Thinking somebody's not good.
me
Getting
getting
his feathers ruffled for nothing.
me getting well, how would you describe it? Me thinking the wrong thing that other people are thinking. That's we discussed that on our walk. That's one
What,
of
ego tripping?
no, like I just always thought if somebody's looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at?
I'll let them embrace me. See, they look at me, I'm like that. Oh.
But I'll do it. But I'll have like fights in my head with people that are just they don't even know I exist. They'll just be like walking in front. They'll have cut me up or something. Like I'm just,
Well, you got them in a jiu-jitsu hold already in your head. So standing next to them.
I mean, I'll never do it,
Aye,
obviously,
but in
but
your head you're doing it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's one of my things that we're working
I always
on.
win those fights in the shower. You fucking idiot.
Do you ever notice that, like, I mean, we've all been punched in the face. Obviously, you teach boxing. You know that feeling when you get punched right in the nose and your eyes water and you can't see. You ever notice when you're in a fight in your head, like you never get cracked in the nose? You're always just like, oops. But you're always just like, you always just win with like a little combo or a body
It's like
shot.
going with your nose.
Aye, but like no one actually wants to get into a fight. You just want to like knock somebody
The
out.
first thing about getting
Like-
smacked in the nose is it happens and your eyes start running. I swear I'm not crying. I swear I'm not crying.
I'm
Aye.
fucking crying. I'm fucking crying.
But like when you get into the imaginary ones in your head, it's just it never goes down like how it would really go down. When
No.
you just get in the nose and you're like, oh. My face.
But in your head you've blocked that punch from in the
You've
nose.
parried it, then
You've parried it and
Yep.
you've shouldered another one
Exactly.
and hammered them with a left hook.
Do you think everybody thinks like that?
Of course
I
they
was
do.
thinking about something the other day and
Mate, but you're probably not in your house going bananas at somebody that you fell out with in your head, having arguments and fights. I know some of my other mates do that.
do we all have arguments with people in our heads that don't like the people exist but they don't the whole
don't
thing
know.
the situation doesn't
Nah.
exist and we make the situation in our head.
I don't know.
I'm getting better but it's just I've just done it, I literally done it with you on camera.
You're looking at me like,
You're like one of my best mates and I'm like
just
why you
listening to you, bro. I'm
you're
just
like I'm
listening to
literally just looking at you when you're talking.
But I mean, it's good to have mates like that as well that check you. You can just be
Yeah.
like, nah, mate, it's cool because you are tripping.
It's good to know your faults.
Aye, definitely.
And
I
work
think
on
that
them,
is
isn't it?
aye, definitely. But I mean, going back to the phone thing, like leaving your phone as well. Like I don't know if you pick it up, and you're just like, holy shit, man. Like something bad's gonna happen. One of these text messages, like something's went wrong. Do you ever get that? The dread when you pick up a phone. You've not seen it for like maybe
There's
an
more
hour
in
or
my
two.
emails.
Nah.
For what you're going, aye, in context that makes sense.
Yeah, when you check your emails, and it's always to do with. I've got a couple of things. If it's an email from like my letting agent, I'm like,
Fuck, did he want?
This is going to cost me money, or two of my
Lawyers,
property,
my
lawyers.
I was always like, this is going to cost me money.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, two of my properties, the boiler went in the same week. So it's like you get that text
It's a
from you.
conspiracy.
If I get a text from my tenant, because I use a letting agent, but I give my tenants my phone number because letting agents.
It's courteous, man. It's courteous.
Well, letting agents are basically out to get you as well. Like they're just
Well, it's a business.
when you're in the property game, everybody's trying to get your money. Like everybody's trying to get your money. So
What would they do? Just be like, do you want me to fucking
if my
admin
if my
charge?
tenant phones my letting agent and says, like, for example, I told you the shower wasn't working.
Yeah.
It was just the fuse blew. All you need to do is flick the fuse up. Letting agents like, oh, we'll send an electrician out. They'd take like £100 off of me for the guy to go out and flick a switch. So I'm like, give me the guy's number.
Aye.
And I phoned the guy for my tenant. I don't like to go to the flat that my tenant's living in
You could at
because
least send a spark there.
well, I just talked the guy through it over the phone, and I'm not even an
that.
electrician. I was just like, go to the fuse box,
Why
flick the
would the
switch
letting
up.
agency not do this? Or they want to do?
So what happens is
They
it
want
might
garbage.
the electrician might take £60, but the letting agent will charge you £100, so they'll take 40 for themselves.
You've seen your socks, mate. They know you're packing.
No, they've seen the codfish socks. They know I'm not fucking about. But like,
Tenors on socks.
but so two boilers went, and so if ever I get a text from my tenant, I mean, obviously they're not texting me to say, how are you? I just know it's going to cost me money.
So that's a big thing you've learned. You don't actually need letting agents.
I don't think you need a letting agent. If depending on the
How
amount,
many properties you've got.
depending on the amount of properties, they're going to take 10% per property. Once you start getting in, so I'm thinking I just completely take them out of the game because I don't need them anymore. My problem is
I love that, taking him out of the game.
I don't mean
Just
like
end the fucking
just
careers.
going in like like Terminator 1 when he goes into like the club and he just starts. If you've not seen that movie, it's a good scene.
A lot of the youngers will not have seen that.
Aye,
movie, mate.
but Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back.
It'd be better if he made like embarrassing noises when he shot the gun. Like, this. It's always cool shit.
Yeah.
I could never. You
Well,
always
who's
see
that?
the.
Arnold
what was
Schwarzenegger?
that?
It's Stallone, mate.
Yeah, it's not far away, but is it? I thought it was quite a good. I'm not very good at impressions.
You're good at the,
Yeah,
you're good at the Eastern European, Russian, Belarusian. I think you're good at it. That's as much. as I know.
Belarus, let's get really specific. I went on a date with this Russian girl, right, and then she was like to me, talking about Gran's advice. She was like to me.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Yeah, she was like to me. My grandmother, she tell me, if men give you something, you take it, and then you ask for more. I was like, all right, that's fair enough. But anyway, that was the advice. But then your grand told you that.
Well, man, I
don't even need to repeat it.
Oh no, opposite sides of the
My
spectrum.
gran never really gave me that much advice.
Nah,
She just
my
kind of
gran
like
never gave me advice.
she was cool, but my gran, she just made me roasted cheese and stuff like that.
Cups of good tea and biscuits.
Aye, a lot of tea.
Nitty things that you would never wear.
She used to knit full jumpers.
Flying tea.
Aye.
Death by tuna sandwich if you were fucking hungry. I mean, have you learned, is there anything that you would pass down to your son? My dad always told me buy a plunger before you need one, and it legit was one of the best fucking things I've ever learned. Like, what's the best advice you've ever had?
Fuck.
I don't know, what age are we talking? Like,
Anything,
none of
just
us have
whatever.
got sons, so what age are we talking? Like, I think, this is going to be a bit boring, but I think buy property as soon as you can. That's a bit boring, but so I'll try and think of something better. But like there's literally as soon as you are 18, buy a property.
The best advice I was given, I think, was when I was probably like 18, 19, and been told that acting how you act when you're that age, when you're young and fiery, 18 to say, I don't know, 25, and you just anybody looking at you, the fuck they looking at? The fuck's his problem? The fuck are they talking about me? Just all that shit, all that fiery fucking bullshit that happens. Like, you can't act like that as you get older, into your 30s and that. Nobody do you, not you.
No.
Not you. You fucking instigator.
No, that's why he's done it. He done it.
Aye,
You look at
but-
me like for.
You're the angriest guy I know.
Aye, but he didn't say that like you would see the dafties running about Glasgow. Why you fucking like that? All that you can't handle
Yeah.
yourself in that manner as you get old. That was the best advice I got given when I was younger.
Aye.
Not that I ran about saying, "Hey, fucking."
I don't know if I'm in a place to give him the advice. I just still
Of course
feel
you
like,
are.
I just still feel like I just don't. Not that I don't have a clue, but I'm still just like completely.
I mean,
You know,
there's
it's
advice that you can live by, and there's advice that you can like interpret as your own. Like, don't ever fight a man with a mullet. That's good advice, but you can live your life with it.
Remember,
Don't
I
ever
used to have
cry
a
in front of
mullet.
Mexicans.
I
What?
just got a new. I had a mullet on my, not a mullet, but like that Rod Stewart type haircut. That I just got that off my driver's license. You know, like your driver's
I've
license
seen that,
test.
I've
Did you
seen
see that
that,
thing
bro,
I
I've
posted?
seen it, bro.
Because you get your driver's license picture for 10 years. Just got it off, but then the other one I've got like a skinhead. Because they now take it
I
off your
look like
pat.
a convict, mate. You look,
Well, they
you look huge in that
Well, my
picture as
friend
well.
Tanya messaged me and she's like, it looks like the murder victim and the murderer side by side.
I think you look strong like ox.
It's strong like ox. But
I used to love Russia.
That was my Welsh accent.
I just love the accent. I just think it's
But you make the
brilliant.
accent sound gangster. Anytime I hear a Russian accent, it just sounds gangster to me. Like just obviously
I
the
suppose
film.
they are gangster.
Ah, of course
They're
they
most
are.
gangster.
Chop their hands
people
off
I've
to try
met.
and win money. Not win money, sorry. Claim money.
What were we talking about?
Kind of
Advice.
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 Man, I think I need to think about it and come back next week. Other than just like get
No, what's the best advice you've been given?
that I've been given and
Aye.
I've been given. I don't know.
Like business wise.
My dad never really gave me advice.
From anybody,
up.
not even your dad, just from anybody. What's the best? Doesn't matter what age.
I don't even know if it's advice, but I think it's just, and it sounds so cliche, but it's like, do stuff that you enjoy doing. Like, don't get yourself.
But some of
stuck.
that most simple advice is the advice that most people can't take because
I-
they don't do anything they enjoy. How many people go to work and fucking hate their life?
Exactly,
man?
like don't, because you will literally, You will literally drive yourself insane.
You alright there,
eventually.
mate? Yeah?
Well,
You alright there?
aye, about it. Just remembered I had
Just
a buttonhole.
thumbing your buttonhole.
Aye, I think, advice is quite good. It's just what you do with it.
But don't get caught up in that whole.
But you have to remember, like, not all advice is good advice.
Aye, of course.
no,
it's
MD
not.
can give advice.
Aye, like, don't trust a man in a wheelchair with dirty shoes. Like, you're like,
Who the fuck told you that?
I don't know. But it's like just little bits of nuggets like that. You're like, I'm going to leave that on the table.
Aye.
You can take that one back.
You never really see a Chinese person in a wheelchair, don't you? Know?
I don't know. I've never.
No, but just in general. Maybe down China. I
You
don't know.
must.
Well, I've never.
You maybe not just been in a place where there's enough Chinese people.
Aye, probably.
There would be someone in a wheelchair.
Aye, probably. But I mean, I'm sure there
If
is
you
in
went to
China.
China, you maybe.
Yeah,
see
aye.
one there.
Probably. Anyway, I totally derailed that whole conversation there.
I'm going to keep an eye out for that now.
I know. Because see when I see
Keep
it
an
now,
eye
I'm
out.
gonna-
Keep an eye out. I'm
I'm
just
gonna-
saying.
But it's going to look bad because I'm going to want to send you a picture. Sorry, that's not an offence
Aye.
to anybody. I'm going to want to send you a picture
Aye.
of a Chinese person in a wheelchair. No offence.
We'll just send
What do you
it.
feel about people just randomly taking your photo?
I thought it happened to me in that fucking train.
What fucking happened to me on Thursday? And
I
was
don't
to the
like
guy,
it.
like, what was it? What the fuck are you doing?
What
He was
is-
like, oh, just I
With
took your
his-
photo. I
with
was like, I
his-
know you took my
with
fucking photo.
his
Your
phone.
flash was on, your prick.
With his phone.
Aye.
Just took your photo. We're in the street.
No, here.
Oh, he's probably just wanted to tag himself saying he's getting a haircut.
No, it was directly at me, and his flash was on, and I was like, hey,
Put your
you've
flash
got my
off.
attention.
Put your flash off.
Hey,
That's the
let me
first one.
fucking at least tell me so I can strike a pose, you prick. Been fucking squatting for days, waiting for someone to take my hat.
I put your flash off. I don't really like it, but there's nothing you can do to stop it. Especially if
No.
it's outside. It's not even illegal.
I know, but it's a matter of respect as well.
No,
When
it's a
I-
matter of
when
respect.
I have a
I don't-
camera in my
I
hand,
wouldn't do it.
hate putting cameras in people's faces. Like I try and avoid people's
That's also
faces.
like that's your moral decision. Other people's moral decision is I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna.
People film everything these
I
days,
know.
don't they?
Well, look what happened outside I'm sure outside the shop last week or the week before. Somebody got knocked down a bike. Nobody was helping. Just I was in the shop. Nobody was helping, but 20 people outside like that at the traffic lights at the cross.
Just filming a guy knocked
Aye,
down.
aye, well, no, he was up. He was up trying to pick his bike up, and then I think I don't know if just because the football was on, there was quite a lot of police arrived.
Hashtag bike crash.
That street's so mental, Park Road. You get so many angry people at the traffic lights, and I guarantee they're all on the way to fucking yoga class. You know what I mean? Like just chill there,
I
fuck
got in an
out.
altercation on the way to yoga. It wasn't not a physical one.
How can you get in? I mean, you're not in a mindset for a go to. You can't
No,
wait to go.
but after it you feel good. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a physical one. Obviously, it was just like I needed to go to the cash machine, so I was pulling up, and then this guy just whipped into the space in front of me. So I was like, you know what I mean?
I nearly done that to you.
No, you did, but like, aye, that was a laugh. But your blood starts to boil, so I just like pulled up beside him and got out my car. So I was like in the middle of the road, but I just blocked him in. And then he's like shouting at me. He's like, "Move your car! I need out." I'm just like, "Oh, sorry, mate. I can't." No, when you start trying to wind somebody up, I'm like, "I can't hear you, mate." I'm like, "I'm going to the bank. I'll be back soon." And he was like, and then I got into the queue for the bank machine, ATM. Of course, this little old lady's taking ages. And this guy's shouting across the road, and then in my head I started to be like, "Honey, oh." And then that way, you know, when it spits her card back out because she's pressed the wrong button, and this guy's like, "Move your fucking car." I'm just like, "I'll just be a minute, mate." And then I had to walk back across to my car. At this point, I'm like, not angry anymore. I'm just like, I just cannot be bothered getting into like an altercation with this guy.
Road rage is a real thing.
It is a real thing.
I've been on the phone to this when
So
he's been
far?
driving, man, mate.
I've been on the phone to you.
I didn't pull somebody's keys out of their car.
I didn't do that. We don't
Yes, you did. The other guy
But-
spilled his milkshake and I pulled his keys out of his car.
But
What happened to the milkshake?
I think it was Ben spilled his
no,
milkshake.
nothing, because that's fucking no.
No, don't say
Not
it.
with that. Fucking hell. But road rage is a real thing. Road rage is a funny thing.
I get bad with road rage, man.
I'm quite calm. I don't really.
Sometimes I'll
do
laugh
that.
though. Sometimes I'll laugh if somebody's cut me up right in front of me and then you just sit behind them and they start going bananas. I just laugh. Like you can't
I do that thing if somebody's like being really angry and driving really fast behind me. I just slow right down and like look in the mirror and laugh to wind them up further. I don't know why. That's the only thing. I don't lose my temper, but I enjoy like if somebody's rude to me first, I'll wind them up.
Seeing them boiling in the
I'll make them more angry. Just
See, when
can't
I
look at
don't
them.
know that I've done something wrong, maybe I've like been too wide on
That's the best
a
ones,
lane
mate.
going through, and someone swearing at me, and I'm like, "Are you sorry,
Mwah,
sorry."
mwah.
But other times,
Was one too wide on that corner?
it's like Tourette's. So like when you're talking on the phone, it's like, "Aye, I'll come. You fucking dick."
That's what it's like, mate. I think I've done that a few times on the phone. I'm on the phone to him.
Just beeping the horn.
Oh no,
as well.
I've been on the phone to you loads of times. I think you must do it all the time because I've been on the phone to you and you've been driving and you've been shouting at people.
But it's a Scottish thing as well. You don't
It's
actually
a
mean it. You just shout. You're shouting.
Well,
at
I
the
quite like
windscreen.
that about Italians. When you're in Italy, they all like shout at each other, but like nobody's fighting. That's just they're expressing themselves. I quite enjoy it. I enjoy the
They're
Italian
very
culture.
violent in their
well,
approach, aren't they? No.
well, they're mafia.
Aye. Is there a mafia in? I started watching Gomorrah.
Apparently it's quite good.
Gomorrah. I've just fucking butchered that.
Gomorrah.
But that's really fucking good.
Is that the one that's in subtitles?
Yes, which is even better.
Aye, man. I've been told it's quite good.
Jenny.
Netflix.
No, I don't know if it's
Aye,
is it Netflix.
Netflix. Aye.
Anyway, it's class. You're well into Sopranos, so you'll fucking love
I've
that.
watched The Sopranos 3 times. I think
you?
it is
I've
the
seen
greatest
Sopranos, class,
program that's ever been made.
Unreal.
I like it because it's not got your
So
iPhones,
good.
it's not got all the fucking
It's
modern
just it
technology.
was made in like '99, started in '99, 2000.
the first series
The
was
phones
shit.
are still in the car and they were still
Yeah,
the size
just
of this armchair,
before-
that's right.
Everybody the night because you couldn't make it now. I went there. I went to like his house and I went to like what's the strip club called? I never went in. I just went outside.
Bada bing.
Bada Bing. It's not real. It's not really called, but it's called Satin Dolls. I rented a
I
car.
didn't go in, but it's called Satin Dolls.
No.
No, I rented a car. I went to Tony Soprano's house. You know, like at the start where he drives up into his driveway, but it's just like a normal street. And then there's a place called Pizza Land in the start scene. I went there for a bit of pizza. And stuff.
Class.
I just done my own little tour. It was quite cool. I've done.
Where was
I'm
his house set in New York? Was it
New
Strat-
Jersey.
New
It's a
Jersey?
place
New
called.
Jersey.
New Jersey.
Get back to Jersey.
I can't remember the name of the town, but it's in Jersey. But it's like a little town in Jersey. I can't remember. Is that where your family live? No.
No, well, my sister stays in Jersey City, which is just
It's probably not far from there then.
Jersey City's like 15 minutes from Manhattan on a train. Like
Right.
New Jersey's a wee bit further out.
Right, I see.
That's New Jersey's its own state.
Yeah, yeah.
It's its own state. So because
I love the
five
Sopranos.
boroughs.
I was supposed to be going to America this year. You were supposed to be going to America this year.
Fucking moving this year.
So I'm going to go
Pandemic.
next year. It's like fucking 5 places I wanted to go to. They got cancelled this year, so fuck 2020.
Is
But I
there-
was going to
is-
go to Chicago.
Is the
and
rest of
then-
your trips been cancelled this year for next month?
No,
No.
but like Portugal, South
Ah,
of
yeah,
France,
yeah,
all
yeah.
that shit. Just wanted to dip and dive. But I mean, America's really on fire. So, but I can't wait to go when it's
Aye,
not
once
on
it's
fire.
not and it's calmed down and there's no fire.
Chicago, and then go and see my mates in New York. I've got family in Miami, so try and go to Cuba from that, which would be cool. Go and get like fucking, what's it called? Cigars, proper cigars.
Cuban
Habanos.
cigars.
Habanos. But I mean, what's your take on Che Guevara, whatever you heard?
I don't know much about. I honestly don't know much about the whole Cuban system. I know my friend went there and he said it's pretty cool because you've not just got all the chain. Like everything isn't just a chain. You know, it's not just like Starbucks.
But they don't have any advertising as well.
Yeah. So he says that's pretty cool, but I've got no idea.
Like mad stipulations with America because it's ever since the whole missile crisis way back.
I don't think so because
Did that get all signed off?
I think
and
obviously
shit, you know?
obviously Obama came back into the mix.
But I'm sure there was some stipulation between was it trading? They weren't allowed to trade to America, Cuba. Was it Cuba?
Trade deal, the Cuban Missile Crisis, whatever. I'm a bit of my death on that one,
Aye.
but I think Coca-Cola will eventually become president of that place. So that's why I want to go there. I mean, the Rolling Stones aren't illegal there anymore, so that's a great move, isn't it? The
And they
Rolling
played a
Stones,
gig in
man,
Havana, didn't
they must be living in ice. Like, how the fuck are they still going? They're still playing, aren't they?
What?
they? Still playing, yeah.
The Rolling Stones?
Aye.
Fuck's sake.
Still playing. Have you ever seen a gig at Copacabana Beach?
Mhm.
It's like 1 million in Brazil. It's like 1 million people there, and they had to build a bridge walkway from from their hotel to the stage. I think it's on like New Year's Eve, whatever year, and it's just like a million people.
Wall to wall people just.
All, right down this beach, just all the way down. They've just got speakers all the way down.
That's in Brazil.
Yeah. So
They're quite good at doing that. They build shit in Brazil and then just don't use it again. Have you seen all the buildings for the Olympics? These beautiful buildings that they made, and there's just.
I went to Rio
Really?
to train like 2 years ago or something. It was it's a strange place. It's so
My
beautiful.
dad says it's quite bad off the strip.
So beautiful. Well, I went to one of the favelas. You can do like it was like one of my other mates.
Here's the peasants.
Yeah, well, you can do like a tour and like a young guy, he's probably about 18 or something, like shows you around the favela, and he's like, well, as long as you're with us, it's cool. Do you know what I mean? Because you're bringing money to the favela. Favela, if anybody doesn't know, is just basically like there's like no planning permission. They just build into the house, so you can just like, oh, I'm going to build another store onto my house. Like the police don't go in,
Really?
the roads. Yeah, like it's just polices itself. That's why, because I was a bit like, oh, is this safe? And the guy's like, no, it's cool, you're with us. Like, we don't mind. Like, just come in. But when I was doing jiu-jitsu, like my instructor there was just saying, like, just you can't walk about at night, even though it looks beautiful. And they've got a lot of the shop, like normal shop, looks a bit like America, you know. But he's like, one line that he said that I loved, he says, they don't even respect the cauliflower ear. You know, it's obviously if you see a guy with cauliflower ears,
You know he can fight.
you probably don't want to fuck with him.
Aye.
He's like, they don't. Not that I've got them, but he's like, even me, like he's a
This
black.
is your instructor saying
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Oh,
see,
aye,
this is the
because of
place
fight.
where I
Aye,
was.
aye.
Oh God, I forget the name of the place that I trained at. But he was just like, we've got that. He's like, they don't even respect. I can't even do a Brazilian
Russian
accent.
Brazilian, you're talking
Aye, but
about?
it's just like even him, black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's like, you don't walk about at night because they'll just come up to you and
Just
just
do you anyway.
just take your shit off you, aye. But during the day, it's beautiful. So yeah, I loved it. I loved it there. I love Brazil, but they speak Portuguese, and not a lot of people speak English there. Not that they should. Not saying that. You know,
Yeah, of
but
course.
It's just such a difficult. It's a bit like Russian. You either need to throw yourself into it or not at all. You can't
Brazilians
just.
speak Portuguese, don't they? That's right.
In Brazil they speak Portuguese, but it's had Brazilian Portuguese, so it's not even the same as normal Portuguese.
yeah,
They was
okay.
telling us.
Yeah, my mate Fabio was telling that.
But they were
talking
just saying
about
it's
that.
such a difficult language to learn. You would really need to commit to it. You know, like French and Spanish, you can learn a few phrases and
Scottish
get
and
by.
Aberdeen.
Oh, Aberdeen. I went up to Aberdeen for like a Liam Gallagher gig not that long ago.
Did you get a translator?
Honestly, you're like in the queue to get a few beers. I'm like, I can't even understand what these people are saying.
There's no point.
Mate, I was working up a way up past there and when I was back in the building trade. I was an apprentice at the time, went into a shop and walked in. The guy looked at me and says, "Can I have 2 rolls and square, black pudding?" "Very much beer and fee." I says, 2 rolls and square with black pudding. "Where would you beer and fee?" And I was like, I says, "Lord, what the fuck's he saying?" He's like, "No, he's asking where he's from." I says, "Glasgow, mate. Can I?"
Do you think that's how we sound to people that are not Scottish?
My sister just thinks that I shout because she's American, so when she
Right.
hears me talking, it just sounds like I'm shouting.
Do you ever think there's a poll where like the top sexiest countries in Scotland's at the top? Because I don't think so.
I don't think Scott. No. I mean, you've just got to admit that Scottish people are none of the sexiest people in the world.
Funny as fuck.
Funny as
but,
fuck.
Funny as
Funny
fuck.
as fuck.
but not sexy. I mean, are they sexy to look at,
Apart from us 3, but no, overall, no. Like,
to listen to?
and I'm talking about men and women, like Italians, Spanish.
Well, I mean, like, and like,
I just mean stereotypical. Scotland never
we've all
comes
got
out.
friends. It's like the Ned friends and whatnot. Like when Scottish people get drunk, we'll all be like, we'll go off on that basically. Do you think that's the equivalent to Italians? Like when they've got like really beautiful women screaming or really beautiful guys screaming, it just sounds like that Nedish vernacular.
I don't know. I don't think we've got anything in common with the Italians.
No, well, then
after
that's a
spending, after spending some time in Italy over the last couple of years, it's just we're just not. There's nothing like Scottish
Yeah,
people.
you were in Italy recently.
I went to see the Colosseum. I went to Rome, and then the year before I went to see Noel Gallagher. I went to a couple of his gigs, but they were like, it was cool, man, because they were like in like little town squares, not little, a few thousand people.
Uh-huh.
But you know, you go to a gig here, and everybody's just like throwing pints at each other and rolling about the floor and stuff. But like there, it's just all these Italians just like sipping wine and just like watching Noel Gallagher. So I'm like, you just walk right to the front of the stage. You're like, excuse me, and then like Noel G's right there playing a bit of Don't Look Back in Anger. and then you turn round and you're just in this beautiful square, this beautiful architecture. It really does show you that.
Scotland shite.
No, Scotland's got beautiful scenery.
Glasgow's
hasn't it?
stunning if you look up.
But Scottish people just don't know how. We just don't know how.
Culture's just different,
We just
innit?
don't know how to behave ourselves when we're having a
Definitely
good time. We just take it too far all the time.
Definitely, man.
We don't know when to stop.
That's why I would have come down with me. Fans are all watching this after a heavy night out because
On
they
a
didn't
Sunday.
know when to stop.
Because we will release it on first on a Sunday morning.
This
time.
could be a Monday for some people. You know, some people roll it right into the next week.
Oh, we
Like
should
how you
point out
handle.
that whenever we drink on this podcast, it's non-alcoholic beer.
Aye, it is
Non-alcoholic
non-alcoholic beers.
beer.
What's this one? This one's called the
Schneider Weiss.
Schneider Weiss.
Is that how Germans
What
talk?
was that?
Is that because of me? Shit.
Und Schneider Weiss.
Schneider
Weiss.
Do you want the
please?
Schneider Weiss?
What's please better? Better? I think better. Schneider Weiss better? I think better. It means please.
On German.
Yeah, or thank you. I
Thank
just done
you.
German at school, and the word schenken means chicken, and that's just stuck in my head. Can't remember anything else.
Schenken.
Yeah,
Schenken.
schenken.
Some
I just, that's just the word. That's the one word that I learned from German at school.
Little Un. So happy with his pint of tenants.
The French German guy.
Was that a pint of tenants? 9? You want 9 pints of tenants? Shit.
Do you think we should wrap it up with the same joke as we started it with?
No.
Man? That might be quite good.
No.
Unfastest.
One pint of Fasters, yeah.
Een pint of Fasters for Un. Un, come and get your Fasters.
Mutter, Vater, send word to the motherland. We have the Fasters.
Und hast no Fastest.
Und
Mutter.
tell your mother and father.
Papa.
Papa,
Und right, we're just
Papa,
talking.
can you
Right,
hear
right,
me?
Think people want.
I think we should do like a countdown of like how to survive a come down. Have you ever had a come down?
Me, yes.
Have you?
On the way back from Ireland last year, man. Oh, 2 years
Horrible,
ago.
man.
It's
Like
fucking
what
horrible.
goes up must come down, and you don't understand
Mate, I
that
was
at the
hanging off
fucking
a
time.
plane seatbelt like that with 2 spaces next to me for an hour coming back from Ireland. Fuck, panicking, phoning my mate on the way back. Mate, I've had to pull over on the motorway. Mate, it's fine, she's just come down, get on with it.
I'll never do it again.
Nah,
And
never
I won't
again, mate.
preach to people, but they must remember what goes up must come down.
Yep.
And it does stop. Like my mate was saying that a lot of people are ending up in mental health clinics just checking themselves in because they don't know how to handle a come down, which is fine. You're human. It's part of the process of taking what you're taking, but you should know the precautions before you take. And you don't really get educated on this. You just get told that's bad, but you fail to talk about it. Like it is going to happen. It's going to fucking definitely happen.
Nobody
People
else
want
is-
to take stuff, they're going to take stuff. But people should know the consequences and what they're doing and what they're getting into and taking stuff.
And also try and be in sound mind before, well, not a lot of people are and can't and won't do it, but
Well, a lot of people are taking it because they're not
because
sound
they're
of
not in
mind.
sound mind. But if you are in sound mind, it might be a better experience, whatever the fuck you're taking. But I've had mates and they complain about every single weekend they're fucked on the Sunday and it gets into the Monday and then my stomach's sore, what's happening to me? I'm like, it's probably whatever the fuck you were doing at the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's nothing to do with the pickles that you had this afternoon. I was like, I don't know, like I'm not a dietitian, but at the same time when I'm looking at your overall story, like last weekend was a bit heavy to me, a lot.
You got to pay the piper, don't you?
man.
You've got to take
Rent's
the consequences
Well, I
for
mean,
any action that you,
definitely.
any decision you make.
I think as well. Sorry, do you were to say?
No, I was just that's it.
Like I've always had what they do fucking funnily refer to as Catholic guilt. Whenever you're getting on it, it's like you should be doing something else. You should be doing something else. And I always wanted to be doing something else. So I watched a lot of my mates that are the hardcore ones going for it, are starting to step away from that. And I'm like, that's good. It's good to see them calm the fuck down because it's like a knee-jerk reaction of the working man. It's how we quickly relax by getting on it, by getting steaming. And Glasgow seems to be going a bit fucking mental with it all. So that's why that's the direction that will be taking our days and the doorstep, talking a lot. I think there's a lot of good things to come from that.
Well,
that
just-
was a self-plug and I don't give a fuck.
just having a platform, and like when people do want to just better themselves.
Of course. Like,
it's
just,
going to be
a
an
lot of
app.
people
Is it
don't
going to be an
know.
app? What's it going to be?
Not for years, but a lot of people don't know what's available to them. They don't even know like the health services that are available to them, like financial services, if they want to, if they can invest.
If they want to help themselves.
I think a lot of people as well think they can't invest because they don't have large amount of sums. Like if you start saving like a tenner a week, every 2 weeks, whatever it is you start saving, that will eventually turn into a large sum. Like start thinking like that. Like I was thinking about this savings account. When people look at savings, if you've managed to save a lot, that's your profit. Just turn the word savings into profit, and you as a business or as a person, you have a profit margin. So it's this disconnection that a lot of people see that I'm starting to learn. It'd be quite good to bring forth.
A lot of people think about when they need to get to somewhere, but they think about what they don't have rather than thinking about what they need to get to accumulate, and then they can have. Like I had to explain that to my wee brother. I've not got enough money for my business, blah, blah. So stop thinking about what you don't have and start thinking about what you could have and can get and what's available to you.
Well, again, as well, like the grass is greener, but we were talking about this earlier when people just, they're getting so busy, so consumed with getting like, I need this, I need to get, I need to hit that target, I need to get that. And then your fucking life's passed and you've done fuck all with what you've just accumulated. You're now depressed and lonely.
I was definitely not a victim. Guilty of this time next year, this time in 5 years, and this, and
it's
I
good, but it needs to be
benefited from it
plausible
in some ways because I've got my
Sometimes
property
it's
business now. But
speaking out loud though,
there was a whole many years of my life that I kind of gave up to get that. So you're like, where do you draw the line in the sand?
but
Yeah.
where do you give it
So
up?
when's enough? When should you just be fucking enjoying yourself, and when should you be
Every single
sacrificing to make your life better in the future? It's finding that balance.
Yeah, definitely. As well, like you should enjoy, like, I mean, you can build the life you want, then start saving, rather than start saving for the life you want. Like, if you know what I mean, like you can build the life you want. And like, right, cool, I've got camera stuff and all that. I'm cool. I'm happy now. Now I can start building. Rather than, oh, in 5 years' time I'm going to do all this. Like, just fucking enjoy yourself. Find something that you're good at. Find a hobby, whatever. Go out for dinner, whatever you fucking want to do. Enjoy your time. Like, really enjoy your time. And then you can save. You don't have to save every fucking penny if you don't want to. If you've got a plan in place which allows that, go at it. But it's okay to alter it. Like, we'll get that as well. If you're going hard on something, people just stop because you don't see results. Like, don't stop. Just take a sidestep, relax, do something, then come back to it.
You need to do that sometimes. You have to do. I was always taught that, like, you try to learn something or read something, especially even when I was doing my PT course and I was having to do it. Like, sometimes I need to try to understand things in the body. I need to put this down and do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I need to take a step back. I always think it's a good way to live life. Like anything, any situation, like before anything happens or kicks off, step back now and look at it and try and evaluate before flying into something, or
Aye, because you're going to have that little itch and being like, just do this, do that. Like, just satisfy the itch or just ignore the itch, whatever. That's your discipline. That's your conversation you need to have. But it is okay to fuck up and keep on going. I can't wait. And as well, like when I started getting into stuff, like just learning how to finances. I think when you talk about finances, when you talk about property like that, people think you're loaded and balling. You're not. You're just taking control of your situation. You're taking control of the direction that you were going in. Just because you're starting to talk about finances, I mean, we've all seen it. There's a lot of people out there that just fucking bullshit, and I can't listen to them anymore. So I noticed that when I started asking a lot of questions, a lot of people were receptacle, like they were just like, yeah, okay, you can do this, you can do that. A lot of people hid it, and it's the ones that hid it, you're like, why are you hiding? Like, what are you hiding? There's enough everything for everyone to go around. So I'm coming from the thing, like the whole each one teach one, because for me it's like a nice creative output, but I fucking love Glasgow. I love Glasgow. I love everyone in Glasgow. Fact, I always talk about Glasgow. I want to do well by my city, so I want to build a platform for that, which might take me a few years, whatever, but it's fun. You get to collaborate and stuff like that and put it on. It's quite good. So
that's definitely one of the reasons I talk about property on social media, is because just through doing that, at least even just in the last month, maybe 3, 4, 5 people, something like that, have reached out to me and just say, like, I've always wanted to do it, I don't know where to start. So I was like, well, let's go out for dinner, let's go for a drink and we'll talk. I've got one friend that I've went on viewing with to help her with a viewing. I've got somebody I'm meeting on Sunday, and I'm not trying to get anything from anybody. I just enjoy talking about property and talking about the process and doing it with like-minded people, and that feeling you get when
something
you
you're good at and just passing it on to people, mate. 100%. I love that shit.
Like you do, we were having this conversation as well. You do get a lot of landlords that are just, they don't give a fuck about anyone living there. But then you do get landlords like yourself that are trying to better their life, and they actually care about the people that are in there. I think when you're a landlord, people think. Well, when you're a landlord, people think you're automatically this evil bastard when you are not.
You're not, because you're providing, in all my properties, I provide them with brand new furniture, brand new white goods, brand new mattress still wrapped in the cellophane. You know, all these things. It's always to a high standard, and that's why, like the last one, 5 people wanted it. I had to choose from the 5 people because, like, I make it nice for people.
Though. You set yourself a good standard. You know what I mean?
It's a reciprocal relationship because they are paying me money and I'm making money from them, but I'm giving them a nice place to live. So I don't want to fucking rip anybody off.
Right.
Do you know? I want to provide a nice home. I want people to get excited when they walk in, and then there is like 5 people vying for it, and we do background checks and referencing. Then I get to choose, and if something goes wrong, I want to get it fixed, and I want to do it right away because landlords get such a bad rep.
You get more respect off of your tenant, though, because if you're seen to be being, you know, proactive or very responsive to any problems that go on with the house, you obviously have set it up for them minted, but any problems after that, you be active. They're not going to be in that house thinking, oh no, that's broken, oh fuck it, we'll just leave it, he'll fix it. They'll be like, no, we'll get this fixed because he does everything
That's it.
for us, you know what I mean? So your house will get looked after.
You've kind of got something I didn't realise, that you've got a social responsibility when you're providing housing for people to.
There's laws in place, like obviously the laws get manipulated and whatnot, understandable, but
just also a moral responsibility to just let people. I mean, your home's your home, isn't it? I remember when I was starting out and you would rent and you were in some place and your landlord didn't give a fuck and things broke and they didn't fix it, and you just think, all I'm doing is just paying. And it's that whole thing, oh, you're just paying somebody else's mortgage, blah 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 blah. It's like, well, no, because if you like where you live, do you
think that's the social circles that we came up with that is like that negatively attaching to this? You're paying someone else's mortgage. You are paying someone else's mortgage. Of course,
when you've not got any money and you're paying rent, you can get a bit pissed off because you're like, oh, why am I paying that? Well, what do you like? That person's maybe saved up a lot of money, bought a flat, made it nice, rented it out.
Like you did, aye?
Yeah, like people seem to think that landlords are evil, and they're not. Not like
they're providing a service.
Providing a service.
Really providing a service.
And you're trying to provide a service or a financial income for yourself, but also for your future family. Like if you've got children, you're going to leave it to your children, and then they're not going to have to take that fucking shit job that they hate or whatever because there's a bit of financial backing in the family. And I don't have children, but that's what when I'm like, that's sometimes it gets me through it. If I'm like painting a ceiling at 1 a.m. or something, I just think and it sounds a bit cheesy.
But at some point you're going to have a family.
But I'm just like, this is for my future family. This is for my future children. This isn't for me. That's the reason I'm doing it. Because if you weren't doing it, you would just be like, oh,
you don't want to get into your late 40s and think, I have not set my life up properly. The fuck.
Then you have kids.
Not that you can't do it. Not even, you know, that I would want to have kids in my late 40s. Even if people do that, it's fine. But I wouldn't want to put myself in that situation where then you think back and you're like, well, my 30s was a waste of time because I don't really have anything. I had all these opportunities, didn't utilise on them. I'm now in my 40s. We're always getting older, times against us. So,
and one thing that plays on my mind is like having, you have kids and you're a bit skint and you've got a mouth to feed, and you've got a job that you don't like, so you're coming home for a job you don't like, you're a bit pissed off. Like, fuck that, man. Like, by the time I have kids, you want to be completely financially free.
So this is a big part of the Our Days platform. Like, I really, that's the kind of
set your life up.
Take your matters into your own fucking hands. A lot of people don't know what's out there. So I can get on guests and whatnot just to speak about it. I'm quite excited about that. Like I'm not directly monetizing in any way that platform, and it is adding value straight back to people. So it's good. I'm not like, it's not any saviour complex or anything. It's just I have learned a lot, and it would be selfish to keep that to myself. Like, why would you not want other people to
You've
have
also
a
got
good
the
life?
tools. You've got the tools to put it out there on a platform. You know what I mean? But with the experiences and with what
Yeah.
you're trying to do. So
So it's good, man. I think it's a good place as well. And like, now, like, we're starting to get older. There's a lot more vulnerability and just being like, here, man, I don't know that. Like, do you mind just sitting down with me, or what do you know about that? And blah blah blah. It's quite good. So I'm quite happy, man.
I think it's been a good week.
definitely.
Should we end this argument and actually
Of what?
see what
What? The German un or ein?
one? Start again. That's one fight. Right, let's go. 1 pint of Foster's, please. You ready for this?
Ein halbes Liter. Was Flaschen?
Ein heißes Liters Foster's Spielen. It sounds like you've spilt your pint of Foster's.
Fuck, sorry, mate.
I
Sorry,
know.
Un. My mate is
un-
asking
un
if I don't
pint of
find out
Foster's.
which type of Prosecco was gifted, I won't be angry. Just really disappointed. So I think
Well, do you know what? Remember, we done the renovation video. It's actually in the video of me putting it on the table.
so
Remember?
end it there. Watch the fucking video.
Watch the video.
Watch the fucking video.